Hey guys, welcome back to our channel. This channel of Data Science is all about trying to learn various concepts of data science by practicing a lot of questions. This video is in continuation of the series where we're trying to learn Python, solving interview questions from top tech companies like Facebook, Amazon, Apple, Netflix, and Google. If you're preparing for any of these roles, this is a great series to follow and build your concepts. So yeah, let's jump right in. In this video, we are going to solve this question on Stata Scratch regarding wait for first shipment. This question has been asked in Amazon interviews and it's a great question if you're preparing for data engineer, data scientist, BI analyst, data analyst, or ML engineer roles. Okay, the question reads, write a query to find the wait for each shipment's earliest shipment date. Output the shipment ID along with the weight. So we are given a data frame called Amazon shipment and our expected output is a pandas data frame with two columns, the shipment ID and the weight of the earliest shipment date of this particular shipment ID. Okay, let's inquire about this data frame called Amazon shipment. It has four different columns: shipment ID, sub ID, weight, and shipment date. So to solve the question, what we basically need to do is for every shipment ID, we can try to find out, okay, what is the earliest shipment date. Another way of doing it would be trying to rank. Okay, so for every shipment ID, which is the earliest shipment date, and that would be ranked 1, then next one will be ranked 2, and so on. Since we have solved similar questions using rank, let me try to go the other way. So what we basically need to do is let's create a column called earliest, and here you can have all the shipments earliest shipment date stored. So what we are doing is basically we need to make another column, let's call it earliest. And then how are we going to create that? So take the Amazon shipment and then group by the shipment ID, because we need the earliest for every shipment ID. So shipment ID, then take the shipment date column. So take the shipment date column and we need to find the earliest. So earliest is basically the minimum date. Now we have learned about group by transform. What it basically does is it will return you a data frame with the same indexes as the original one you are grouping by along with the transformed values. Now let me just tell you what I mean by that. Let me remove this part here, right? Let me just try to make you understand. So here, if you do this, right? So Amazon shipment dot group by shipment ID, take the shipment date and get the minimum value out of it and reset the index, right? So let me reset the index so that we can see both the columns, shipment ID as well as the shipment date. So here, if you look at it, in the original data frame, Amazon shipment, you have three different rows for 101. So here the index would be 0, 1, 2, and so on. Here, since you grouped by the shipment ID trying to find out the minimum shipment date, so you were always going to have one row for everyone. So to add this back into this data frame as a column, what would you need to do? Basically, you need to join these two data frames, right? So you say that is a very cumbersome and a two-step process. To do all that in one single line of code, all you need to do is instead of writing dot minimum here, you can simply use dot transform and provide the function that you are trying to do. So that is going to append it back into it without you having to merge it. So you understand it is exactly doing the same thing, finding the minimum and then merging it back to the original one. So that is what I mean by that. So if I go ahead and do this and let's see what do we have in Amazon shipment. So let me go ahead and run this. Let's see what do we get. So now you see you don't have to perform any merge and everything, but for every shipment ID, so initially you had 3 rows for shipment ID. Here also you have 3 rows for shipment ID and you have the earliest date appended in the earliest column. So you see now once you have this, then we are only required to keep those rows where shipment date is equal to earliest, because we are only concerned about the weights of those shipments that were the earliest. So we can perform a Boolean indexing. So hey, shipment date should be equal to Amazon shipment earliest column, and then it is passed to the original data frame. It is going to keep only those rows where this was true. So if I go ahead and run this now, so now you are only left with one row per each shipment ID, and then you have basically shipment date was the earliest date. Now in the output of you need only two columns, the shipment ID and the weight. So you can provide it as a list because you need a pandas data frame. So we want the shipment ID and I also want the weight. Okay, let me go ahead and run this. Let's see what do we get in our output. So you see our output is exactly same as expected output. Let me go ahead and submit this to pass all the test cases. So everything is green, and this is how it went. So yes, somewhat tricky question. You can either go the ranking method, or you can try to do this using group by transform. Since we learned about group by transform earlier in this series, but I just wanted you to have another way. Instead of, if the interviewer asks you that, hey, can you solve it without using ranks, so this is the method that you can do. Transform is basically going to shorten your query by at least one more step, because you don't have to perform any merge. It will transform the values and add it back to the original data frame on the same indexes. And then once we had that, we perform a boolean indexing. We only concerned about the earliest shipment dates for every shipment id, and we kept the columns that were required in our output. So this is how we do it. Let me know if there is a better way or more efficient way to solve this question. Let the solution be in the comment section below, and I'll see you guys in the next video.